A Hollywood game of succession is about to kick off over the weekend. I got another story specifically about layoffs over at Disney and at Warner Brothers, and how it might end up to a regime change once again over at Warner, but focusing on Disney this time around. Yeah, this has been a search that has been out there, well, hell, even since Bob Iger came back, okay? So for the better part of a half decade at this point in time. But yeah, people are looking for the next CEO for Disney because Iger isn't getting any younger. He's getting into his mid-70s if he isn't there already. And yeah, for a guy that takes 2 showers a day and, keeps himself in good shape, he could theoretically go for a little while longer, but still, the clock is in fact ticking. And over the past few years, we've heard a couple of different names pop up, one of which being EA CEO Andrew Wilson for the potential to replace Iger, but after a couple of failures and a huge stock drop at the tail end of last year, Andrew Wilson, he's probably going to be stuck at EA for a minute, especially if he wants to move upward and outward from one of the most derided companies in gaming. But the Hollywood trades are now tapping Josh D'Amaro as a successor to Iger. Let's take a look at this. A new race to succeed Bob Iger as Disney CEO just got more focused and more complicated, according to the Hollywood Reporter. Disney Experience's chairman, Josh D'Amaro, the guy in charge of the parks, the cruises, all of that type of stuff, is now in pole position to take over the company's top job, vaulting ahead of a crowded internal field at Disney CEO candidates. That include Dana Walden, a name that we've heard before, Alan Bergman, who's I think he's on the in control of the creative side because his name popped up, especially with the cancellation of The Acolyte last year, and then something in regards to Snow White, if I recall. And Jimmy Pitaro, that's a name that I've heard before, but I can't necessarily pinpoint him down. But D'Amaro's rise shouldn't come as a surprise. Yes, he's the public face of the $60 billion theme park expansion, which now includes a new resort in Abu Dhabi. Habibi, we're getting Disney. Put Minnie Mouse in a fucking burqa, my friend. The first new Disney park since 2016. The Parks and Experiences division of Disney is by far its most profitable. Yeah, about the only reason that they can continue to fund that vanity project that is Disney Plus. Again, more on that over the weekend. With TV and film division stumbling despite a few box office successes. Yeah, Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine a little bit offset by Snow White, Captain America 4, and Thunderbolts. But hey, you win some, you lose some. And then you also got the victory in Lilo and Stitch, which makes me want to cave my head in with a teaspoon, but I digress. Most notably, this week Disney issued a mass layoffs across its TV, film, and finance divisions, in which hundreds of employees lost their jobs. Like I said, we delve into that over the weekend. D'Amaro is also overseeing Disney's entry into the big budget gaming through, a $1.5 billion deal with Epic Games, which has done exceedingly well for Fortnite, right? Because that Star Wars expansion is leading to massive growth and definitely not record lows over the past few years. No, of course not. A move Iger reportedly sees as a legacy-defining project. Yeah, because, hey guys, this is just a sign that the old man is about, ready to step down and move on and hand out Werther's Originals and sit on his porch for his golden years. Yeah, last year announcing, we got this big gaming expansion because the kids, they like the video games. It's like, holy fuck, old man moment, but whatever. In recent weeks, he's stepped into several of Iger's traditional roles, including representing the company at Moffett and Nathanson's investor conference. Okay, but while D'Amaro checks plenty of boxes operationally, there's a familiar concern emerging from the inside the industry. Can the theme park guy win over Hollywood? Yeah, that's a question that echoes the same perception of the doomed Bob Chapek. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, because he was in charge of parks. I think Michael Eisner came from like a similar mold before, but anyways, somebody who really wasn't inside of the creative things. But honestly, at this point in time, like, Disney is It's a theme park company that has a vanity entertainment wing, so, all right. Hollywood Reporter notes Chapek also came, yes, from the parks division and struggled to communicate with top talent, studio heads, and power players from the entertainment capital, of course. There were other factors leading to Chapek's removal. Yeah, mostly because Iger set him up to fail and it didn't really want to be in charge during the coup fears, so yeah, that's also an issue, but don't focus on that, that's fine. He took the reins as lockdowns were issued all over the world and was reportedly pressured into taking a stand against the Florida's, parental rights and education bill, because a bunch of activist freaks staff the hallways of the creative side of Disney. Yeah, rumors that Iger was working behind the scenes because he still kept his office, the one with the private shower after all, and wouldn't allow Chapek in there because, Iger was definitely retiring. Tomorrow, though seemingly more media savvy and personable, still carries the same institutional baggage being the theme park guy trying to rub elbows with Hollywood elite as Disney CEO. There's a problem at Disney, said Stephen Galloway, Dean of Chapman University Dodge College of Film and Media Arts. How can you expect someone from theme parks to understand the process of making television and film? Well, he's the CEO, okay? He's not exactly in the writer's room. He's not somebody who's passing around notes, okay? This is a guy, who, I can't remember if this video's out there, but no, that's also something that's coming out over the weekend. But you have another high-powered CEO saying, I just put the creatives in charge. I'll let them do exactly what they need to do, okay? I just put the right people in the places. That's my job. That's what CEOs, that's what they do. They're not the creatives. They employ the creatives. And how can you expect somebody, from television and film to understand how to work with the Chinese government? Oh, that's easy. You don't, because China has never really paid the bills. For as much as a Disney has bent the knee to China, they haven't exactly turned out for many projects, okay? Like, there's a big opportunity that's there. Obviously, if somebody can crack the Chinese market, there's 1 billion plus people that are out there. But if you give it a long enough time span, the population collapse that is threatening the West, it looks even more dire in the East if we want to take this to its logical conclusion. So pandering to China, it's not exactly as big of a priority as it was in recent years, but that tension might help explain tomorrow's surprise appearance at Netflix's upfronts last month. He's getting set up at Disney, groomed, if you will, something that Disney has been exceptionally good at for a while. As previously reported by Bloomberg, DeMauro showed up unannounced at the event, mingling with rival executives and Hollywood insiders. It was a strange move for somebody who doesn't oversee content or ad sales, but it could have been a deliberate effort to shake off the park guy label and begin integrating him with the entertainment community. Yeah, exactly. But then you've got other people that are there that were, tapped to replace Iger at a certain point in time. There's Dana Walden, the co-chair of Disney Entertainment and a long assumed frontrunner. But she's got, if you think being the park guy is a little bit too much baggage, Walden, she's got the entire ensemble, okay? She's got an entire Samsonite tag along. Oh, Walden brings deep experience in television and strong relationships with Hollywood creatives. It's fantastic. The output of Disney recently just kind of speaks to the quality of Dana Walden. Her appointment would also be historic, making her Disney's first female CEO. Great. Coming in at the right time. But yes, Hollywood Reporter confirms what industry observers have speculated for months. Her decades-long friendship with former Vice President Kamala Harris has become a political liability in Trump 2.0 era. That once looked like a powerful connection now raises concerns about retaliation from the White House that it already seems to consider Disney an enemy. Yeah, and she's also been in charge of ABC and has those fucking dead creepy eyes. So pairing her with a midget in Alan Bregman, wouldn't exactly inspire that much enthusiasm. So DeMauro and his, would you rather have the guy with the intense creepy stare or the chick that looks like she just took a handful of Zoloft? Like, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, because at the end of the day, like, Disney can put whoever they want in charge of things. It's just the people that are working under them, the creatives at those other studios that are going to make or break the entertainment wing. Because if you put the park guy in charge, that lets everybody know that Disney, especially with the crumbling and the fact that Disney Plus is going to get folded into Hulu in a relative short order, probably after Iger disappears, because Disney Plus was his baby after all. He was trying to get that off the ground, and after he's gone, then they can go ahead and make some changes. It's kind of like how Lucasfilm is waiting for George Lucas to fucking croak before they redo the original trilogy, which, oh boy, that one's coming. But speaking about Lucasfilm, because they also have a bit of a succession problem, at least they have for a while, because talks of Kathleen Kennedy leaving or staying, or, hey, actually, I just heard, right, because Kathleen Kennedy, oh my god, guys, the look for a replacement, it's obviously going to be heating up because Kathleen Kennedy has just left Lucasfilm, and she's going to be returning on Monday, because that is a carousel that is going to continue to turn round and round for as long as Kathleen Kennedy wants it to. How many times have we heard this year that, oh my god, she's going to be leaving by the end of the year, by the end of October? Okay, she's going to be staying on for as long as she wants. Okay, oh no, she's going to be taking a step down. She's going to be making her announcement at Star Wars Celebration. No, her contract's not going to be renewed, and she's going to be out before the end of the summer. She is, in fact, never going to leave because she's always going to be producing films. Oh, okay, cool. So what exactly do we need to believe on that? Well, Father Time is, in fact, undefeated. She is on the wrong side of 70, so eventually, okay? Either Lucasfilm will die or Kathleen will. One or two will come to pass, and if she stays in charge, I mean, both of which are practically assured at this point in time. But yes, a full regime change across the board with a new CEO at Disney and potentially a new CEO at Lucasfilm, that might end up inspiring some people out there that have written Disney off in recent years. Now, we could also take a look over there at Marvel, but they've got one surefire hit on the horizon. No, I'm not talking about Fantastic Four. But hey, guys, it has sold the most tickets. It just went on sale at Fandango, okay, and it sold the most tickets this year. It's like, what other movies were people actually looking forward to? What's the metric? How many tickets did it sell on its first day? But we'll talk about that tomorrow. So of the big studio CEOs, the big CEOs over at Disney, I mean, Feige, he can kind of stay on for a little while longer because Avengers, well, it'll just make him look a little bit more competent for a little while longer, at least with Doomsday. As for Secret Wars, it remains to be seen. But going back to Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy will eventually leave Disney for good, no memes. She will have to step aside. And earlier this year, she was also talking about our fantastic slate of internal talent that could, potentially step in. We've had a succession plan in place for a long time, okay? We know what we're doing. And it's like, well, we've seen your output, and clearly you have no idea what you're doing. But okay, cool. What exactly is that plan? Oh, fuck. It comes in the form of a cowboy hat wearing dog enthusiast. And yes, Dave Filoni will, in fact, be taking over. We are so done, dude. Well, okay, I guess it's a little bit better, okay, because no, he's not going to be fully taking over for Kathleen Kennedy, something that has just simply been the reality for a very long time. I don't know why this would be a news to anybody, but he would be a co-chair. So this would essentially be the exact same situation he finds himself in right now, because he's the head of, like, what's his official title? Chief Creative Officer? So yeah, he's essentially co-chair. Like, Kathleen just rubber stamps shit and pays way too much for projects, and Filoni gives the seal of approval on everything. But yeah, man, apparently incompetence will just continue to get rewarded over at Lucasfilm, and he will, in very short order, be getting some kind of a promotion. Lucasfilm seems likely to follow that path. Talking about replacements, I got the Hollywood Reporter article pulled up here. If you want to read the rest of it when they go into far more granular detail about other CEO succession plans, but the ones I wanted to focus on are the ones that we're focusing on. But yes, the path of replacing Kathleen Kennedy, despite speculation about outside candidates, including former 20th Century head Emma Watts, insiders say the company seems most likely to promote from within. The current thinking is a scenario where Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni and production head Carrie Beck, both Lucasfilm vets, take co-head roles. Fantastic. Even as an arm of Disney, Lucasfilm remains in many ways a family business, right? Yeah. And as a George Lucas protege, and Kathleen Kennedy was tapped and hand-selected by George Lucas to run Lucasfilm after he handed it over to the white slavers, after all. Filoni long has been considered a golden boy. Fucking why? But the knock against him is that he might be too... Yo, man, I read this as a bullet point. I think Culture Crave or Pop Base, one of those Twitter repost accounts had this out there as just bullet points, and I found this to be fucking wild, man, when I read it. But yes, the knock against Dave Filoni is he might be too steeped in Star Wars lore and risks steering a show into dense mythology that loses a broader audience. A fucking what? Okay, have you seen his output? Okay, he only cares about his own canonicity. How can we cram Ahsoka into more stories that George didn't tell? I.e., how can we retcon Ahsoka to be the main character of Star Wars and him paying attention to canon? Bro, have you seen Mandalorian? Have you seen the Obi-Wan Kenobi show? Have you seen anything that this fucking lispy hack has worked on in the past 5 years? None of it cares about canon. It's his own cringe shit. and loses an appeal to a broader audience? Yeah, if there was something good out of Star Wars, it would appeal to a broader audience. Oh, is that a teaser? He's not the Andor guy. He's the Ahsoka guy, says one Disney insider. Oh, fuck. Yo, there's people at Disney that's even going, yeah, you know that Andor show that actually tracked on the Nielsen ratings? You know that Andor show that people outside of the Star Wars audience actually looked at and liked and was like, wow, that's Star Wars, huh? I need to take a second look at that. What is that Andor show that actually grew in popularity as the seasons progressed? As opposed to the Ahsoka show that went, oh wow, he Vadered, it's red, and nobody can tell you anything else about the other 7 fucking episodes. Oh, right. Thrawn kind of looks like Elon Musk and he has a bad coping habit, or perhaps he's a perpetual optimist. I don't know. Sure. Plot contrivances ruined my plan, but from a certain perspective, we've won the day. What the fuck are you talking about? Yes, Beck, who joined the company in 2012, when it was properly brought under the Disney umbrella, knows the ins and outs, and neither she nor Filoni has much of film experience. Oh no, that's going to change with Mandalorian and Grogu and the 50th anniversary movie, Star Wars Starfighter. Boo! Which could be mitigated by Kennedy's continued presence as a producer on certain Star Wars projects. Yes, because whenever I see Kathleen Kennedy's name on a project, that immediately just, lets me know that it's a success, okay? Because everybody was like, I don't know, man. I'm not entirely sure about this whole Raiders of the Lost Ark thing, but what? Guys, Kathleen Kennedy worked on. Oh god, now I gotta go see it. Okay. Oh, she. Okay. It's like a goofy little alien and a fucking bicycle. Why would I want to go see something like that? Oh my. No. KK worked on. Hey man, E.T. That's gonna be a hit because Kathleen Kennedy only puts her name on quality, right? She's been a professional coffee fetcher for years. She knows she knows where the bodies are hidden, and that's the only reason that she continues to remain employed. And Dave Filoni, same thing for him, except for most of the bodies are hidden underneath of his cowboy hat, because we all know that there's no good Star Wars ideas up there, the fucking hack that he is. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Doncon Smile. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone, and may the Force be with you, because it's not with Lucasfilm.